Hey guys, this is Jake with P3. Today we're going to be installing our multi-gauge on Volkswagen Mk5 platforms. This is going to work on the GTI, the Golf, the TDI, and the R32s. We'll go ahead and get started here. So the first thing you want to do when you're installing a multi-gauge is we're going to go ahead and hook the entire gauge up and just plug it into the OBD2 port and test it before we install it to the vent. So we've got our display unit, which is already installed, and if you haven't installed your display in the vent yet, you can go ahead and visit the link above. That'll take you to our display installation where we show you how to install the display into the vent if you did not get it pre-installed. So once you've completed that, you're at this step. Go ahead and take your display cable, plug it into the control box, and then take your OBD2 harness and plug it into the other end. And then we're just going to go ahead and come down to the OBD2 port here, plug right into it, like so. And then you can just hold the display. And then the gauge is designed to come on and off with the engine. So it's not going to come on automatically when you plug it in. You need to start the vehicle. So we'll go ahead, start the car up. And this is going to come on with the engine. So when you plug this in, it's not going to fire up right away. You need to start the car. Just make sure the buttons work. Make sure it's pulling information correctly. Reading information out to you. Looks like this one's working, so we'll go ahead and finish the install. Go ahead and unplug your OBD2 cable. And we can set all this aside for now. And pretty much the only tool you'll need for this installation is one of these plastic trim tools. First thing we're going to do is just pop this side dash off. Real easy. You can set that up here. And then we'll also need to take this trim piece off as well. It just snaps out like so. Pull the top first and then it just slides up. Now we're ready to remove the vent. It's just got a few like tabs kind of molded into this soft touch material. So once you break it loose, it kind of pops right out. I like to hook a trim tool right underneath here. Just pry upward slightly, and then it just kind of breaks the bottom loose. Do the same for the top. It'll disengage for you. You can pull the vent right out. Set that aside. Now we can come back with our wiring. We'll take the OBD2 harness first. If you want to leave it in this cable tie, it's fine, or if you just want to zip tie it later, you can just pull a little bit of slack out. And since this cable is so flat, we don't even have to take this bottom trim off here for the door sill. You can just slide this right through this gap here, and it's going to slide all the way back, and you can plug it right into the OBD2 port, and then run all your slack up under the trim. And then we can just run this right up through here. And for the sake of this video, I won't zip tie all this up yet, but we'll just tuck it in here. But you can zip tie it all nice and neat later on. We'll let that hang for now. The next thing we want to do is come over and install our display. And this display cable needs to pass through this hole right here. And if you're installing your display in your vent yourself, you want to make sure you wrap this cable right under the foam, or it can go over the foam, that's fine too. But we want it to come out in this position, so when the vent is installed, the cable's already naturally right where this hole is. So we'll go ahead and feed the cable through this hole, and it's going to come out this side right here. And then we want to make sure it's nice and flat without twists. And as we're putting the vent into place, we'll pull the slack out with your left hand, and then you can just pop it right in. It's into place, and now we've got our cable in place. So now we'll go ahead, plug your display in, plug your OBD2 harness back in. You can go ahead and tighten these up now that we're going to leave it in place. And then just for the sake of keeping this video short, we'll go ahead and just tuck this in here like so. Like that, and then we'll put our trim pieces back into place. This one will go first. It's got a lip at the bottom that just overlaps. And then you want to make sure this edge is tucked under the weather stripping for the door. Like that. And then it's just got a tab that locks into place at the top. Side trim's the same. You got this lip that needs to lock under here. Slide that in first. And then the rest of the tabs just pop into place and you're done. So now we can go ahead and start the car again, and we'll get to see the final product. Now that we have the installation done, we can go ahead and fire up the engine one more time just to make sure the gauge is working right. We'll go ahead and peel the protective film off too. And it looks like we're good. So this installation is complete. If If you guys have any questions at all, let us know below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and like us. Thanks, guys.